We have the problem wrong with obesity. It's just a symptom of unhealthy skeletal muscle. You want to live to 100? God forbid you get any of those things that we're talking about, cancer, fall, the greater your survivability.
It sounds like you don't think that replacing food with supplements is necessarily the best idea.
We've got micronutrients that we need, not just the macronutrients. That was my daughter's first food.
Liver.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do we live to 100?
Well, be strong as hell. Stronger you are, the more robust you are, the more muscle mass you have, the longer you're going to live. And God forbid you get any of those things that we're talking about, cancer, fall, the greater your survivability. We don't have an obesity problem. We got the problem wrong. Just like we got the problem with testosterone and prostate, just like, we've gotten the problem wrong with, you name it. We have the problem wrong with obesity. It's just a symptom of unhealthy skeletal muscle. You want to live to 100? Be as strong as you can for as long as you can. Have as much muscle mass as you can.
How many hours a day do you contribute to your fitness?
Less than 1 hour.
Less than 1 hour? What do you do?
3 days a week. 3 to 4 days a week. I train. I work with my trainer, Carlos Mata. He's amazing. I should just call him the Punisher. 3 days a week. What do? We do heavy sled pushes. We do compound movements. We do kettlebell swings. We do bag tosses. We do rope pulls. We do isolations. We do resistance training. We do it in a form of progressive overload, meaning my goal is to get stronger and better. I do that 3 to 4 days a week. But the other days, I am active. You see how much I'm moving now? I should sit on my hands. Probably a terrible interview. I'm sorry, guys. But I move. I'll put a weight vest on and I'll walk around. Take calls while I'm on a treadmill. Wear a weight vest, walking, rucksack. With my kids, we don't do any electronics.
None.
Terrible idea.
You.
It's a terrible idea. I would have a lot more time if I used electronics with them. But we don't. And what I've done is I build into my life activity. It's not, do I train 3 to 4 days a week for an hour? Yeah, I do. That's 4 hours a week. It's activity during the day. I hate this term, exercise snacks. It's terrible. But it's this physical movement that you put in throughout your day. I will tell you something else. Zone 2, have you heard of Zone 2?
No.
It's having its moment, that slow, steady state cardio. It's having its moment. I don't have time for that. Do you have time for that?
No.
So I think as a society, we have to recognize there's multiple ways to get to an endpoint. The less time you have to train, the more intense it has to be. You do not have to spend hours doing Zone 2 cardio. We tend to not like to get really uncomfortable and breathe heavy and, when shit sucks. It's exactly what we should do. Mm-hmm. You could get away with 20 minutes a week of that, and you'll still have longevity benefits.
Interesting. So to live to 100, it's just exercise.
Body composition. Body composition.
What do you mean by that?
I don't want you doing a bunch of marathons like my husband. You have to be strong. You have to lift weights. Does diet play a role? Yeah, we've got micronutrients that we need, not just the macronutrients. We have nutrients of concern like iron, zinc, selenium, B12 for brain function. You need all those things too. But if you do not move and move in a meaningful way, then your capacity to move reduces. So you have to become very intelligent about the ways in which you're pushing forward. I think the worst thing that can happen to someone is they get injured. Shoulder injury, back injury. How do you facilitate a life that allows for maximum movement in a meaningful way for outcomes, right? You want to be able to lift your kids over your head when you're 75. So these are the things that we have to do. You have to train in a meaningful way with resistance training. I'm sorry, walking is not going to do that for you, my friend. It's not. Mm-hmm. You have to lift things. Do you have to do some kind of high intensity training once a week? I think that you should, unless you're just going to do Zone 2, which will take hours.
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying works because I have a good friend, also my attorney. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to, but he took you on, or you took him on as a client, and I just saw him a couple weeks ago. He looks amazing. Probably lost.
Oh, that's right. So Katie, someone messaged me. Katie, your wife messaged me. She
Yeah.
didn't say who, but she was like, "Oh, I just heard."
He told me he was starting
amazing.
with you when I think when we scheduled the podcast, and I saw him, and I was like, "Holy shit, man, you look fucking amazing." And he said, "Yeah, I feel great." Now my wife, I don't know if she's seeing you yet or not, but if she's not, she probably will be soon because he told me that was going to happen. But I've seen your work, and in person. And it looks amazing. So let's keep going. How do we live to 100? I mean, what about supplements? So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that, fruit, vegetables, we already kind of touched on the meat, but the pesticides, and they don't have near the nutrients that they used to have 50 plus years ago or 20 plus years ago. It seems like it just keeps diminishing more and more. And so a lot of people are turning to supplements, greens, different multivitamins, whatever, fill in the blank. From what I've read about you, it sounds like you don't think that replacing food with supplements is necessarily the best idea.
Here's what I think. I believe everything that you're saying in terms of there are changes in soil, the way in which our fruits and vegetables they're not what they used to be. If you've ever had a natural blueberry or a strawberry, they don't taste the way that ours do. Mm-hmm. So they are cultivated to be significantly sweeter. We also pick food and then it sits and then it's sent and it respires, it loses its nutrients. All of that is true. Whole foods are ideal. Are whole foods enough? No, I don't believe whole foods enough. Do I believe in supplementation? I absolutely do believe in supplementation. But how do I think about it? I think the best diet is a diet where it's both plant and animals. Whole foods diet, plant and animals, fruits and vegetables. Lean red meats, if you want to throw some salmon, organ meats, kind of gross. I hide them in my kids' food. It's amazing. I even hide them in my husband's food. Do not.
What do you mean
tell
organ meats?
Liver.
Liver.
That was my daughter's first food.
Liver. Mm-hmm. What's the benefits of liver?
It is unbelievably rich in iron, fat-soluble vitamins. There's no replacement for it. There's retinol. There's no replacement. This vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, there's no replacement for our liver.
What kind of liver?
Cow liver, chicken liver.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's an acquired taste, but you don't need a ton of it. You can cook it in a burger, just a little bit. Maybe that was my daughter's first food. When you think about supplementation, it's what is it that you're potentially missing? I don't eat a ton of vegetables, so I use greens. I use green powder. I use red powder. I use things that are rich in phytonutrients and colors. Do you use a red powder, green powder? You should. We will. I'll fix that.
I have. I mean, I go. I shouldn't say no. I go. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna be 100% honest, and I saw fucking gummy bears, but
oh wait, wasn't I supposed to get a present?
I felt bad. Do you want some?
No. What is it? Is it? It's not CBD gummy bears, is it?
No, they're just gummy bears.
Yeah. Where are my gummy bears?
Dude, I was embarrassed to give you some.
I've watched your show so many times.
I thought you would yell at me.
So listen, I watched your show so many times, and you know what? You always start out the show with the handshake and you go, everybody gets a gift.
The doctors don't get the gummy bears.
I watched Duckworth. Was that her name? Duckworth? What was her name? Who was doing the remote viewing? Mm-hmm. It was amazing. She got gummy bears.
Doctors don't get gummy bears. I'm embarrassed. No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous,
please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.